They say you need a beast of a PC to be a gamer, but they're wrong because gaming isn't about fancy hardware, it's about heart, skill, and stories that stick with you. So if you're rocking a potato PC, this list is for you. Number 15, Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire combines card building strategy with roguelike dungeon crawling. You choose a character class, each with unique starting cards, then face off against bizarre monsters using a deck that grows with every battle. The strategy comes from deciding which cards and relics to pick, crafting powerful synergies. Every run is different, and death means starting over with new tactics. Simple 2D visuals and turn-based combat mean it runs on nearly any PC. But don't be fooled, it demands deep planning and careful decision-making in every turn. You are able to play this game if you have only 2.0 GHz CPU, 2 GB RAM, and OpenGL 2.0 compatible GPU. Smart, addictive, and endlessly replayable. Number 14, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Age of Empires 2 is a classic real-time strategy game where you control a civilization from the Dark Ages through the Imperial Age. You gather resources, train units, build structures, and expand your territory while fighting off enemy empires. The Definitive Edition adds improved AI, new civilizations, and updated visuals, but it still runs well on older machines. Whether you prefer campaign missions based on real history or random battles against friends or AI, the gameplay is addictive, strategic, and rich in variety, offering hundreds of hours of content. You are able to play this game if you have only Intel Core i3 CPU, 4 GB RAM, and Intel HD 4000 GPU. Number 13, Katana Zero. Katana Zero is a stylish, ultra-violent side-scroller where you play a katana-wielding assassin with the ability to slow down time. Each level is like a puzzle. You need to eliminate all enemies without getting hit. The gameplay is fast, but tactical. One mistake, and you're dead. Thankfully, the game rewinds instantly, allowing for quick retries. You can dodge bullets, deflect projectiles, and plan the perfect sequence of attacks. It's packed with cinematic flair and pixel art beauty, but the tight controls and combat make this one of the most satisfying low-spec action games ever. If you're eyeing Katana Zero, any dual-core CPU with 4 GB of RAM and integrated graphics will let you experience its fast-paced action without a hitch. Number 12, Dead Cells. Dead Cells is a roguelite action platformer with randomly generated levels, responsive combat, and high replayability. You control a strange, reanimated warrior who must slash, dodge, and dash through challenging biomes. With each death, you restart, but unlock new weapons and powers that carry over. The game offers tight swordplay, fluid movement, and a vast array of gear to experiment with. Enemies vary in behavior, so combat requires both reflexes and planning. Its pixel art and atmospheric soundtrack make it immersive, and its excellent optimization means even older PCs can handle it smoothly. You are able to play this game if you have only Intel i5 or older CPU, 2 GB RAM, and Intel HD 4000 GPU. Number 11, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. The Binding of Isaac is a top-down dungeon crawler with rogue-like mechanics. You control Isaac, a child who escapes into a monster-filled basement to avoid his fanatical mother. The gameplay involves shooting tears at enemies, collecting bizarre items that modify your abilities, and surviving endless floors of randomly generated rooms. Each item dramatically changes how you play, leading to chaotic and hilarious outcomes. It's dark, twisted, and shockingly deep. Despite the strange visuals, the game runs flawlessly on low-spec machines, delivering endless replayability thanks to its random generation and vast item pool. The Binding of Isaac. Rebirth runs comfortably on a 2.0 GHz processor with 2 GB of RAM and a DirectX 9 compatible graphics card, delivering its intense roguelike experience without taxing your system. Number 10. FTL Faster Than Light. FTL is a space-based, real-time strategy game where you command a spaceship fleeing from a powerful enemy fleet. You manage your crew, power distribution, weapons, and repairs during stressful battles. Each journey is procedurally generated with different events, hostile ships, and opportunities for upgrades. You can pause the action at any time to issue orders, making it thoughtful and intense. Every decision, whether to fight, flee, or trade, shapes your fate. The minimalist graphics and intuitive UI make it incredibly lightweight, yet the layers of strategy make FTL endlessly engaging. FTL Faster Than Light demands very little: a 2.0 GHz CPU, just 1 GB of RAM, and support for OpenGL 2.0 graphics means almost any PC can captain this spaceship. Number 9. Terraria. Terraria is a 2D sandbox adventure game focused on mining, building, combat, and exploration. You start with nothing and gradually craft weapons, armor, and tools to battle enemies and bosses. Unlike Minecraft, Terraria emphasizes action and progression. Defeating bosses unlocks new items, biomes, and events. There's an enormous variety of loot, enemies, and hidden secrets. You can build castles, dig to hell, or fly into the sky. The pixel graphics are charming, and it runs on virtually any computer. Whether solo or with friends, Terraria offers hours of creative, chaotic fun. With Terraria, a 2 GHz processor, 2.5 GB of RAM, and a graphics card, with OpenGL 2 support and at least 128 MB of video memory, are all you need to dig, build, and explore endlessly. Number 8. Don't Starve. Don't Starve is a brutal survival game set in a dark, Tim Burton-style wilderness. You control a scientist stranded in a mysterious world where hunger, insanity, and monsters are your biggest threats. The game is all about collecting resources, crafting tools, and surviving as long as possible. Days grow shorter, food becomes scarce, and winter brings new dangers. If you die, you lose everything. The game features permadeath and randomized worlds, ensuring no two runs are alike. Its quirky art style and low system requirements make it ideal for players seeking a hardcore survival challenge. Don't Starve requires only a 1.7 GHz processor, 1 GB of RAM, and Intel HD 3000 graphics, making its haunting survival world accessible to low-end machines. Number 7. Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami is a top-down shooter drenched in 80s neon and synthwave music. You play as a masked hitman who receives cryptic messages instructing him to eliminate targets. The gameplay is ultra-fast and unforgiving. One hit kills you, but enemies die just as quickly. You restart instantly, creating a trial-and-error rhythm that's strangely addictive. You can use guns, melee weapons, or even fists to clear rooms. Every level is about speed, aggression, and planning the perfect assault. Despite its retro visuals, Hotline Miami delivers intense action and tight mechanics. Even a 1.2 GHz processor, 512 MB of RAM, and OpenGL 2 support are enough to immerse you in its fast-paced, neon-soaked violence. Number 6. Limbo and Inside. Limbo and Inside are side-scrolling puzzle platformers with strong atmosphere and environmental storytelling. In Limbo, you control a boy navigating a deadly monochrome world filled with traps and monsters. Inside expands on this concept with stunning visuals, emotional depth, and surreal environments. Both games are minimalist in design, no text or dialogue, but tell powerful stories through gameplay. You push objects, solve physics-based puzzles, and avoid danger through stealth or timing. These games don't need high-end specs. Their haunting design, clever mechanics, and emotional weight make them unforgettable experiences. Limbo and Inside run well on very modest specs. Limbo needs just a 2 GHz processor, 512 MB of RAM, and DirectX 9 graphics support, while Inside requires slightly more power, a dual-core CPU, 4 GB of RAM, and Intel HD 4000 graphics. Number 5. Papers, Please. In Papers, Please, you play an immigration officer at a border checkpoint. Your job is to inspect documents and decide who gets in. But soon, it's more than paperwork. You're dealing with smugglers, spies, bribes, and political choices. Each day adds new rules, more complexity, and moral dilemmas. Do you follow orders or help the helpless? The game blends strategy and narrative perfectly, with time pressure and limited resources raising the stakes. Despite its basic visuals, it delivers a unique and intense experience, and it runs like a dream on old hardware. If you want to try Papers, Please, all you need is a 1.5 GHz processor, 2 GB of RAM, and a graphics card compatible with OpenGL 1.4, which lets you experience its tense border control simulation without strain. Number 4. Portal and Portal 2. Portal and Portal 2 are first-person puzzle games where you use a gun that creates linked portals on surfaces. The core mechanic is simple. You go in one portal and come out the other, but the puzzles are anything but. You'll need to solve complex challenges using physics, momentum, and lateral thinking. Portal 2 adds characters, humor, and a deeper story. Both games are polished, hilarious, and extremely rewarding. Their puzzle-focused design means they don't demand much from your PC, yet they remain some of the smartest games ever made. The classic puzzles of Portal run smoothly on a 1.7 GHz CPU, 512 MB of RAM, and DirectX 8.1 compatible graphics, while Portal 2 needs a bit more muscle. A 3 GHz processor, 2 GB of RAM, and DirectX 9 graphics. Number 3. Celeste. Celeste is a pixel-perfect platformer about a girl climbing a mountain and overcoming her inner demons. The gameplay is tight and responsive. Jump, dash, wall climb, and chain moves together to survive deadly challenges. Each level introduces new mechanics, like wind, spikes, or shifting platforms, keeping the gameplay fresh. You'll die a lot, but instant respawns and generous checkpoints keep frustration low. There are also hidden strawberries and secret levels for hardcore players. Celeste's emotional story and flawless controls make it one of the best platformers of the decade, and it runs even on very modest setups. For a tight platforming challenge like Celeste, an Intel i3 CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and Intel HD 4000 graphics are all that's required for silky smooth gameplay. Number 2. Undertale. Undertale is a retro-style RPG where you don't have to kill anyone. Instead, you can befriend monsters, talk your way out of fights, and choose mercy over violence. Every choice affects the world around you. The combat system is a mix of bullet hell dodging and creative attacks, changing based on how you interact with each enemy. It's quirky, emotional, and full of surprises. Despite its simple graphics, Undertale's charm, music, and storytelling have made it a cult classic, and one of the best games ever made on a low-spec system. Undertale is light enough to run on a 2.0 GHz processor, 2 GB of RAM, and a modest 128 MB graphics card, perfect for its charming retro-style adventure. Number 1. Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a peaceful farming simulator where you inherit a rundown farm and build a new life. Grow crops, raise animals, mine for resources, fish, cook, and build relationships with townsfolk. There's no pressure, just a relaxing, open-ended world where every task feels rewarding. Over time, your farm grows, your friendships deepen, and the seasons change. There's even dungeon crawling and festivals. With retro pixel art and cozy music, Stardew Valley is incredibly lightweight and endlessly satisfying. Whether you play for 10 hours or 100, it's the ultimate comfort game for any PC. Stardew Valley needs just a 2 GHz CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and a 256 MB GPU supporting Shader Model 2.0, meaning almost any laptop or PC can enjoy its relaxing farm life. See? You don't need high specs to have high impact. These games run on almost anything, but they deliver everything. So, power up that old machine. And game like the legend you are, because real gamers play with passion, not just performance. Game on.